Changes are on the way for Michigan's juvenile justice system.
That's right. A new raft of legislation was signed into law Tuesday that reforms the system in Michigan. And tonight I'm taking an in-depth look at what it all means and who it affects.
When the bills were signed, I think I dropped a tear or two.
Cole Williams watched Tuesday as Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist signed the juvenile justice reform legislation into law. Williams is the co-founder and executive director of the Delta Project, which works to tell the stories of students caught in the cycle of incarceration. He says he got involved in reforming the juvenile justice system when his son, who was suffering from mental health issues, was caught up in it. He says the changes, now law, are the result of groups from all over Michigan coming together to change the system.
Prosecuting attorneys, Democrats, Republicans, there were everybody at the table. You rarely have all of these people coming together with a shared view or a shared vision of how we could reimagine a system that we know is failing youth and families.
Jason Smith, the executive director of the Michigan Center for Youth Justice, helped me understand the changes.
These reforms helps create baseline standards of care and decision-making processes for the juvenile justice system statewide.
He explained that people living in different zip codes have often received drastically different care in Michigan. Is it fair to call it an overhaul of the juvenile justice system?
I think so. I mean, one of the key components of the legislation was to change the state child care funds. The new legislation would increase that reimbursement rate from the state from 50% to 75% for community-based care options.
Smith says another win is
legislation that would eliminate the assessment and collection of most juvenile court fines and fees. Eliminating fines and fees allows all parties to focus on treatment instead of the financial harms that come with assessing huge juvenile court debt to families.
Most of the legislation is the manifestation of recommendations made by the Michigan Task Force on Juvenile Justice Reform, which both Smith and Williams were a part of.
The state of Michigan should be proud of what we've just accomplished. I think that these are historic reforms.
Even though my son didn't get a chance to feel the outcome of this, my hope is that there will never be another son like mine who had to experience the juvenile justice system in the way that he did.
Now, one thing that didn't make it through this session is ensuring that legal representation is available for youth who cannot afford it. Advocates like Williams and Smith say that they have their sights set on that and many other recommendations. In all, they actually had 32 recommendations, and they said they accomplished about half of them this legislative session, which is a huge win.
Which is a huge win and will help so many young people because, you know, once you get caught up in that system, there's no way to get out.
Especially if you're constantly being penalized and being charged, and hopefully a lot of those things have been relieved.
Yeah, good deal. All right, great.